Hello, my name is Wes Fallenkamp. I wanted to speak to you about my experience with the Overage Syndicate Course by Nick Fullmer. Last year, February of 2019, I basically ended my career, 20-year career as a plumber. I was looking for a new career and got into some real estate, looked at some different types of courses like wholesaling, bought some pretty expensive courses on wholesaling, and then I came across foreclosure refunds and came across Nick's name on a Bigger Pockets forum, and I started watching Nick's free videos on YouTube. Thought he was a very genuine person, very sincere. He was offering what I thought was an abnormal amount of good free information on a YouTube channel. So I just saw that he was the real deal. He wasn't salesy. He wasn't trying to promote or push anything. Then eventually he did come out with the course, and the overages really appealed to me because it was a way to make a pretty good amount of money on commission without strangling your schedule. You weren't tied into the schedules of your clients like a lot of successful real estate agents were. So those were two of the biggest things that appealed to me is the money you could make and also the freedom in the schedule. So when I first got into this, I definitely realized there was a lot of money to be made. And in some of the markets that I've researched, it's just an amazing amount of money, but you have to know what you're doing because you're dealing with courts, you're dealing with a legal system. You have to understand the processes that they use so that when you go and try to work with them, you know how to do it. Because if you don't do it correctly, it's not going to work. That's why having a course, having the training underneath somebody who's done it, and Nick has been involved in this business, I think it's about 5 years now. And he's learned a lot. I've learned a lot from him continually. So I would suggest if you want to get into this business, that start with his course so that you can get that solid foundation and hopefully change your life. Transitioning careers is not easy, but this is probably one of the cheapest ways to transition into a career where you can make some pretty good chunks of money. It's not a get-rich-quick thing. It does take time. So I ended up purchasing Nick's course, I believe it was November 4th of 2019. I went through the course very quickly. I started making phone calls to potential leads. I think November 19th was my first call, so it was about 2 weeks after getting the course. And I learned a lot in the course, but one of the things that Nick said that he had learned from, that I didn't quite learn from, was to not jump around a bunch of different states at first and to really focus on one market, become a master in that market. And that's something that he had spoken about, but I didn't heed that. So I spun my wheels for about a month and a half, and then finally in January of 2020, I got laser focused on one market, started building a lead list, and in February, I started calling those leads, got my first contracts in March of this year, and have had a couple of claims pay out. I've had 5 contracts. 4 of them have been submitted. We will be submitting another one next week. And all of this is possible because of what Nick taught me in his course. And this is a business that you really have to learn from somebody that's done it. You have to have a foundation. And even Nick will tell you that he's constantly learning because every market you go into is a little bit different than the previous markets. But you still have to have that foundation of understanding what the business is, understanding the components of the business. And that's what Nick's course provided for me. And it's actually changed my life because I'm looking at doing this to retirement and through retirement, because it's a business where you can do that. I wanted to show you a couple of my paychecks that I've gotten here recently from some cases that we filed, just so you know this is the real deal. This first case was filed March 3rd, and it paid out in the first part of May, so it was about a 2-month process from the time we filed it till the time it paid out. And this is my take home from this. Can you see that total there? This is a copy of the check stub. That was actually the first case that I filed, but it's not the first case I got paid out on. That was about a 2-month process. This next check was the second one I filed, but it paid out pretty quickly in about a month. Again, that's a copy of the paycheck stub I received. So in a matter of about 3 weeks or so, I received 2 checks totaling over $11,000. And I've got another claim that's been approved by the judge to be paid out. That was just last week. And we filed another claim last week. And I've got a contract coming that should arrive this week in the mail that we can file. So the claims have been coming in, the paychecks have been coming in, and I'm ecstatic with what I've learned from Nick's course. And one of the nice things about the course is that you get lifelong access to it. So Nick occasionally updates the course, and as he does that, he lets those that have already paid for the course, we can access those updates. So if he learns something new and adds to the course, we have access to that for the one-time cost of the course. And if other newer students ask questions and Nick answers them, we can see those. So we're constantly learning. As Nick grows, as we grow, as the whole group that's part of this course grows, we're all kind of learning together. So that's one thing I really liked about the course, is that it offers you that opportunity to learn lifelong. So the course gives you the foundation in all areas that you need to have to begin this, whether you do this on your own, which is what I'm doing. I've got my own lawyer. I've got my own system in the market I'm working. You can also do it to partner with Nick, which a lot of people are doing, and there's been a lot of success with that. Nick is in several states right now across the U.S., and he's continually expanding. So those opportunities, I would like to eventually do that, do some partnering with Nick, but you can do it on your own also, and it's very possible to make good money either way. So if you're looking to get into the overage business, I highly recommend Nick's course. It's thorough. He does it in a video format where you're actually seeing his screen live on your screen, so you see how he's actually accessing the websites he needs to access and the information he needs to access that you will be accessing also in your own business and as you pursue these leads. So the foundation is there, and once you get this, then you can always build upon that as you're continually learning. But I would highly recommend this. Nick has a very calm persona about himself. He's not pushy. Like I said, he's not salesy. And another thing I like about Nick is he has a go for it mentality. If he sees a case that he thinks there's a possibility to get it, usually he's going to go for it, when a lot of other people may back away from it because they see potential issues and stuff there. Now, Nick's not dumb about it, but he is aggressive enough that I think he gets money out of a lot of cases that a lot of people wouldn't. So you're learning from somebody that's smart about it, but aggressive about it also.